This is Hartlepool. Like many of Britain's poorer areas, people here depend on their local bus service because 60% of people don't have access to a car. The Burbank estate in the south of the town is officially ranked as one of the poorest wards in Britain. There are no shops, no healthcare and no services. And yet, 4 months ago, without 1 week's notice and no consultation, the only bus that came here was axed.
It's more than a bus service. It's a lifeline, or it was a lifeline, and that's been completely cut off now. It's been ruddy murder, to tell you the truth.
516 were Tom Bunce's lucky numbers. It was the bus he took almost every day. But now his only option is to walk, and it's 3/4 of a mile to the nearest shop, a return journey that takes him more than an hour. He has to do it 3 times a week, rain or shine, to buy his food.
Sometimes you're caught when the weather's bad and I just get wet or cold or whatever. There's basically no option because I just can't afford taxis, and that's quite serious when you can't afford taxis. But with a £2.60 for a mile journey, you can't afford taxis, and I don't think very many people can.
The 516 never made a profit. It was run by a local bus firm and subsidised by the council. But as a result of government cuts, the subsidies stopped, and so did the bus. Burbank has a high proportion of elderly residents. They now feel completely isolated.
It's like a forgotten world. It makes you feel so depressed. If you could get on a bus, we've got the bus passes. That's brilliant. You know, I feel like training mine.
But no buses to use them on.
No buses to use them on. We're on an estate that is surrounded by main roads. The whole of life is out there, but we can't access it.
Hartlepool Borough Council has cut its entire budget for bus subsidies. There are now no subsidised routes at all. If a bus doesn't make money, it doesn't run. Hartlepool Borough Council told Channel 4 News that they had to make the savings after the coalition government reduced their grant by 19%. In Hartlepool's central bus station, there are more taxis than buses after 6 o'clock. There's only one regular evening service left in the whole town, and the impact on the local economy has been devastating. This is Hartlepool's iconic steelworks, but times here are hard. 90 people were laid off 3 months ago. Those like Bob Williams who remain are facing a fresh challenge. He can get a bus into work, but there are no evening services to take him home. And so, like many here, he has to walk.
So I live 6 miles from the works, and
Wow.
it takes me an hour and 20 minutes to walk it.
So you've just finished your shift. You have to walk an hour and 20 minutes to get home?
Yes, it would be an hour and
Wow.
20 minutes. There used to be a service that came into the works, but when the subsidies was cut, the actual service was cut.
Bob Williams' bus, like the majority of services here in Hartlepool, was run by Stagecoach, Britain's most profitable bus operator. Last year they made more than £153 million profit, running services just like these. Both the council and Hartlepool's MP think Stagecoach should use these profits to subsidise less viable services.
If they can run the profitable routes, they should also have a sense of social responsibility and run those socially essential, possibly economically vital to the town bus routes that maybe not make a profit.
Why should any bus operator keep running these routes if they're not profitable?
I don't think Stagecoach shouldn't be making a profit, but they are making, as they boast, sector-leading profits. They should be putting something back, especially when 90 to 100 million pounds of their turnover is brought about by the taxpayer. They really do need to be thinking about their corporate social responsibility.
Stagecoach told Channel 4 News, "In many parts of the country we do support marginal services from the more profitable routes. However, we face the same economic challenges as any other organisation, particularly in the current climate. We're unable to support every unprofitable service, in the same way local and central government is unable to fund all services we would like to see in our local communities." This week, a Commons Select Committee warned that cuts to bus services nationally was threatening the most vulnerable. But Channel 4 News has discovered that the cuts are much more extensive than Parliament realised. We've learnt that 90% of local authorities in England are slashing bus subsidies. It's a huge national problem. With even deeper cuts expected next year, more and more services will disappear. What's happened here in Hartlepool looks like just the beginning. Darshna Soni, Channel 4 News, Hartlepool.